Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I hope everyone is doing incredibly well as always. Happy Friday, guys. All right, thank you for subscribing to the channel and all your amazing messages. I love it. Thank you guys for your support. And a mad shout out to my mega crew over on Patreon, okay? I love you guys. I wanted to come on and tap into the divine masculine energy a little bit here, okay? I feel like... Okay, so the vibe with this reading, or like, you know, the message that I received is that there's a lot of divine feminines out there who you're truly being guided by the universe, and you're being pleasantly surprised by certain circumstances that are aligning for you. I'm sensing too that many of you are worried or nervous about dating or attracting new love because it really makes you question oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry. Yeah, it really makes you question your connection with the masculine at times. But I feel a lot of you have accepted the journey the way it is. Or at least that's something that you're feeling more and more lately. It's sinking in more and more that it's okay to be open to what the universe has planned for you. But at the same time, it's sending out this heaviness that's coming from your divine masculines, because it's like just like that, like in the snap of a finger, the energy shifts. And, you know, many of your masculines are moving in again. And I know that we've talked a lot about this energy coming through where a lot of you are, you're wanting to move forward, and it's like you don't know why. It's like, you know, they're moving back towards you, but that connection that you once felt, maybe even a little bit of a obsession, it's just not there anymore. And the reason I feel like that's happening for a lot of the divine feminines is because, you know, you've done so much work, okay? And I feel like the Justice card comes to mind. It's like you guys, it's like, oh, after all this work and you're beautiful and perfectly healed, it's like here comes strolling in your, you know, your divine masculine. It's like, you know, I feel like there's going to be part of their journey where they're going to have something balanced. Like there needs to be something where it creates a sense of balance. Like they might even have to watch you kind of, you know, suddenly attract new love. And it's like all of a sudden, you know, you're having these unique experiences that you never thought that you would have. And maybe your masculine has to see a little bit of that. And it's only because I feel like a lot of you have done so much work that the vibration that you're at, it's just not at where your masculine is. And that's how you guys will know whether you're, you know, coming closer to that place of like maintaining like equilibrium in the connection, like a sense of balance between you two where there's no ghosting or there's no running from the connection, right? So that may be why you may be attracting new suitors, or you yourself, divine feminine, might be just feeling the attraction towards other people right now. And that feeling hasn't been there in a really long time. It was like, no, you know, it's my divine masculine and it'll always be. I feel like a lot of you have grown out of that a little bit. Let's find out what's going on with your masculine and how he's perceiving all of this energy, okay? Okay, so fated to suffer. Didn't I tell you guys? There needs to be some kind of like balance. And it's not that we want them to suffer or that they have to, or that we're like wishing that upon them. I just feel like fated to suffer is like they're definitely anticipating that there's going to be some kind of fated meeting with the divine feminine and somebody else that's just going to surprise her. And it could be something as simple as friendship. But remember the Patreon reading when the Tower card came out, and it's like I told you guys, they feel sick even thinking about you being friends with other men, or like even like having it be friendships where you guys might flirt, or there's the potential for it to turn into something more. It's like they don't even want you to have these experiences. And I know from the masculine's part, it sounds really selfish, but it's like that's maybe part of the reason why they have to feel fated to suffer at this time. It's like that's where the suffering comes from. They feel it coming, where they're gonna have to, maybe come back towards you, and it's like things just aren't aligned, and that's because your intuition is stopping you from even going in that direction. I'm telling you guys, you will feel, kind of held back in some way, or the connection. You won't feel like that spark until there's like true alignment, another message too that I feel is coming through with this is that many of the divine feminines, you guys are unbothered, is what I'm hearing. You guys are really unbothered. Like, even if your masculines, like, they were in other karmic situations, it's like, I feel like many of you became like the high priestess in those situations, and like your dreams would tell you when the karmics would pop up, and many of you truly know just if these karmic situations are still going on, and whether or not your masculines are fully healed. And so it's really pushing you to move in a new direction, divine feminine. Let's find out why you're being pushed in this new direction. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords here coming through. And I feel like pages are definitely messages of just, I feel like a lot of you want to adapt a new way of thinking. Like you're going on this journey to adapt a new way of thinking about things. It's like you're cutting ties with the old version of yourself, right? Like even with Christmas time around the corner, like the holidays are around the corner. A lot of you, there's going to be that karmic drama, the karmics just pop up. Even if your divine masculines are moving towards you, okay, the karmics will just pop up. And I feel like many of you are cutting ties with that old version of yourself that just feels triggered by the journey. And that's why many of your masculines are kind of suffering in silence, because a lot of them can feel the disconnect from you as well. But the more they feel the disconnect, and I'm telling you guys, they know that there's competition around you, divine feminine, okay? Because we have the Five of Wands going through right now. Coming through right now. And I feel like they know that there's a lot of people what's the word I'm looking for? Vying for your attention? Is that the word? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of people wanting to get your attention, or maybe you're being spoken about a lot, or maybe a weird synchronistic thing happened with your divine masculines where they heard one of their friends bring up your name, or, have you guys seen this person lately? They look good. I looked them up on social media, or like whatever the case is. And silently, a lot of your masculines are like dumbfounded. They're like, wow, there's no way that this is happening right now. And it's creating just this like player energy, this competitive energy. A lot of your masculines are sending a lot of passionate thoughts your way. I feel too that even if the divine feminines are in a place of entertaining it, I mean, the Knight of Wands here is coming up. And a lot of you are prepared to deal with this Knight of Wands as well, because many of you are not in a place of again, obsession, or there's no weakness for this connection. A lot of you are just trusting in divine timing. And so, when they come in, if they come in as like a Knight of Wands, a lot of you are already prepared to deal with this energy. I'm seeing that a lot of divine feminines, maybe there's like a weakness for like when your masculine became like really sexual with you in conversation, or like really flirty in text, and like, the sexy pictures would start coming your way, like certain things like that. Maybe you guys had like a weakness for stuff like that, right? But I feel like not anymore, because it's like you kind of have your mojo back, it's like your energy feels not trapped in this connection. And it's like, a lot of your interests and desires doesn't only belong to this divine masculine anymore. And that speaks volumes of the growth that many of you have gone through, I think, within the last year or so. You've really had to heal a lot of things that had absolutely nothing to do with your divine masculine. You realized over time it had a lot to do with you. The more healing you guys did, I feel like the more free you started to feel. And that's why the obsession really went away. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean to bump the the mic like that. But yeah, they're definitely, yeah, they're feeling it, Divine Feminine. I feel like many of them can sense it. I feel like, okay, because we have the Eight of Cups here, and what caught my attention was, you know, the way it looks in the card here is that with all of the cups stacked there and like the person's walking away from it, what I'm getting is like many of your masculines are feeling like you stopped like working on the connection, or you stopped thinking about the connection as much, or maybe you know, put the connection into perspective and you started realizing that, you know what, yeah, I might have invested a lot of time and energy in this, but like I'm tired, you know, and again, a lot of you did experience like the motions of the towers falling, and you were exhausted from putting it back together, and you needed time alone and space to heal, right? And now that you guys have, I feel that just new experiences want to come through for you that are more aligned with the person you are now. That's just what I'm feeling. How does the Divine Masculine see you? Okay, that's way too many. But the Queen of Cups did catch my attention. You're everything that they want is what I'm feeling, Divine Feminine. It's like now they're having the realization of you being just everything that they've ever imagined. And with Fated to Sephir coming through as like, you know, one of the major themes in this reading about the heaviness that many of them are feeling is that, like, how awful is it to realize that, you know, you had this beautiful Queen of Cups here. And I feel too that many of your masculines constantly think about, like, there was like one particular action that they took and it really took their life in a different direction. And I see many of them recalling that moment of they wish they would have made a different decision. I don't know whose message that is, but yeah, we have a Divine Masculine out there who wishes that they maybe like didn't do something, or they could have done something more. You know, they should have done something, or there's a moment in time where they had the opportunity to do something. That I'm hearing this could even be about like speaking their truth to you, or reaching out to you, or communicating with you in some way at like a certain time on your path or your journey. You know, many of them are like, man, I should have reached out, or I should have said something. That's what it is I'm hearing. I should have said something. Okay, so I don't know what that has to do with, but, you know, I'm hearing also from that Drake song, Don't Give It Away to No One. I don't know exactly what song it is. I just know Drake said it, but I'm hearing don't give it away to no one. They know that you are maybe wanting to mingle. And I think you're even surprised by this energy, Divine Feminine, because you were so certain that you were doing this whole path of celibacy, or you were maybe, you know, very focused on your spiritual path. Maybe a lot of you were heavy focused into your career and learning about this journey through tarot, or, you know, you were just good on your own. But now the universe is switching things up for you. It's like certain feelings are stirring in your heart, Divine Feminine. You are appearing as very just like flirty and friendly, and just somebody that people want to approach. And I feel like this is, you know, maybe you're Divine Masculine. It's like they want to approach, but I don't know. It's like, are they going to get the response that they're wanting? And maybe that's what's making a lot of them hold back at this time. Okay, let's get another message here on how he sees the Divine Feminine. Okay, how do they see you? How do they perceive you right now? Maybe they're watching you on social media nonstop. But how do they see you when they think about you? Okay, so we have the Fool card coming through, and I think in this case, like, it literally does mean like they feel like a fool. When they look at you, they feel like a fool. That's just what I'm getting from this. And this kind of reminds me of that message that I said earlier when I talked about, like, they really do feel like they should have said something with this Fool card, because it would have taken them in a completely different direction, you know. And it could very well be just kind of telling you how they felt, and it's at a particular time, you know, when you two knew each other, and they didn't. They maybe held back, or they listened to other people's advice, and it wasn't good advice. It wasn't in the best interest of this divine masculine, you know. But they're learning, you know, like, that's just life. Many of them are I'm hearing like practicing speaking up, because we have the Knight of Wands. We know Knights are all about taking action, charging in. They want to say something. They're really serious about it. But, you know, that's what it is, guys. Like, this time it's going to take action on their part, because, you know, you're undeniable to them. I feel like this Queen of Cups, like, you could be a water sign. You don't necessarily have to be. You could be any sign, but like, you may just be very, like, especially when it comes to being in relationships, or even just like, you know, being a mom or being a friend, it's like there's something very nurturing about you. I feel like people can count on you. People can surrender to you. People can reveal their innermost feelings to you, especially because he's on his knees, and she's embracing him in this position, right? I feel like that's just the energy that you hold. I'm seeing a divine feminine who carries a lot of wisdom, and maybe over time your divine masculine has seen this quality about you, and that's what's making them feel a lot of deep regret. And like, even they know too, with this Fated to Suffer card, divine feminine, that like, just based on like, okay, how I'm seeing it is that they feel like they received a gift and they just tossed the gift aside, or they didn't appreciate it, or they were just like, you know, ready to open the next gift. And over time, like, you really blossomed in front of their eyes, and many of you stayed true to your word and stayed true to who you were, and you grew silently. And now that you're back on the scene with this new energy, it's like they don't want anybody else to have it, and they're willing to come and like plead their case. But I feel like somehow the universe is holding them back in a sense, or even they themselves are holding back, because they can feel that, again, with the Ace of Swords here, you guys are just on a new level of thinking. You know, you're ready to kind of cut people off, or tell people like it is what I'm getting. You might have like a sharp tongue right now, divine feminine, and you go, like, if you're the divine feminine, you go from feeling really saucy if your divine masculine were to message you, but other times you could be like this Queen of Cups here, where you're like, damn, I don't have it in me. I would just, you know, you would definitely be warm with them, you know. But there's definitely days where, you know, you might have like past memories, and this could be the telepathy that's occurring between you two as well, with the memories that are coming up, right? And the heaviness that's coming up from the divine masculines is that they want to reach out so bad, but then what ends up happening is they get flashbacks of like certain bits and pieces of conversations or moments with you where they had you, and, you know, they might have treated you just not the way that they should have. Okay, let's just say that it's not the side of them that they really wanted to show you, but it came out because you're their divine feminine, and it's supposed to come out because it's supposed to get them to look at those things about themselves in order to heal and grow. And I feel like they're starting to recognize that's like the biggest reward on this journey. It's like the biggest reward of knowing you is that you really do make them better in some way. You know, you really do heal them. Okay. Okay, I'm going to wrap this reading up, guys, but I'm gonna get one more card here. Let's go ahead and, you know, whoever's listening, if this is your reading, you know, what do you need to look out for? What kind of synchronicity? Okay. So we have the noose here coming through. Okay. So you might end up just seeing rope somewhere, or you know, even for me, it's hilarious because my kid was Brian Johnson from AC/DC Back in Black. And because he loves that song, guys. So I handmade him his costume. I put the number 22. I got him the scally cap from Amazon. And he sings it nonstop, right? Back in Black, I hit the sack. Don't you know I'm glad to be back? I'm letting loose from the noose that's got me hanging around. Maybe that song is a song that a lot of you know, Back in Black by AC/DC. I don't know, whoever this reading is for, that's your synchronicity, okay? It may be that song, but it has something to do with just letting loose, setting themselves free from a situation, even if it might be like tricky to do so, or even if they may have to create a lot of chaos in their lives to do it first, you know, they've got to break free. And it's like a double whammy for a lot of them, coming back to the Fated to Suffer card, because there's some type of new experience that's coming in for you, Divine Feminine. And I know there's many of you saying, well, I'm not ready for a relationship. I don't want to really... Okay, that's fine and dandy, but believe me, the universe has other plans for you, okay? Even if it's just amazing, remarkable, deep-rooted conversation, or flirting, or just something that really lights you up, Divine Feminine. Because again, I'm telling you guys, you've done a lot of work, and your vibration is different, okay? That's why there's that disconnect, and that's why many of you masculines are really charging in to see if they can really put that spark back in. But maybe the universe is kind of letting them know, like, hey, you know, hold your horses, right? You know, just kind of calm down a little bit, because yeah, like I feel like the Divine Feminine kind of deserves this experience, or I'm hearing that many of you don't see it coming. And that's what's funny, because a lot of you are set in your ways. You're very stubborn about it at times, where you might get triggered in readings where you're like, no, new love, that's not for me, don't want new love. But the universe is gonna sweep you off your feet, is what I'm hearing. And many of your masculines might have to just kind of witness this. It may not be long lasting. It may not go anywhere. Maybe that's the Divine Masculines kind of coming through with their fingers crossed. Who knows? But I feel like many of them are going to have to witness it. And there's a lot of heavy energy around that, impulsive energy, a lot of regret, a lot of, you know, memories and flashbacks, really thinking about your connection heavy at this time, okay? All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.